Hello, this is Dan, and today we're going to be looking at some Bryce Harper cards. He's playing in the World Series right now. It's late October 2022, and right now the series is tied up 1-1. So I've been collecting Harper for a few years now, and yeah, we're going to start looking at some raw cards, then we'll look at some graded stuff, and finally we will always talk a little bit about why I like collecting Bryce Harper. All right, so starting off, here's the chrome. A couple of those, that's kind of his, well, it's not exactly his flagship, but I consider that sort of his flagship rookie. Topps Finest, generally a fan of Finest. Nice card. Bowman Platinum. I like Bowman Platinum, really like Bowman Sterling. Next few are pre-rookie cards. This is sort of, believe when he was Prospect, Bowman's Best. Another Bowman Chrome. This isn't the autographed. There's a lot of autographs out there. I'm generally not a huge fan of autographs or numbered cards, which, you know, makes collecting a little bit less expensive. These are not the most uncommon cards. These are pretty typical cards probably you can find online, but you know, I like them. I don't always like the expensive stuff, which works out for the wallet also. This is one of his really early cards, 2012. This is a minor league card, USA team card. It's sort of neat. That's an upper deck card. And a few minor league cards. As that old design looks like the year of a few of those. That's the same year as the kind of the Lou Brock rookie. It's generally pretty difficult to grade. Oops. And I got this one here too. Got a few more raw cards. This is not an expensive one. Now we're looking at the non-rookies. This is his Rookie Cup. Seems like the last few years, the Rookie Cup, or last several months at least, the Rookie Cup cards have become more valuable. They're generally less expensive, and these are the 2013s. You know, more affordable and generally nice looking cards. I like a lot of these heritage or throwback looking cards. Just a fan of the older, like, you can buy cards that look like the old style but with current players, and they're in pretty good conditions. 1979 look, I really like this because that's when I started collecting cards, way back in 1979 when I was a little kid. 81 also, this was my favorite set when I was a kid. I was 8 years old when this came out, so that was pretty exciting and kind of neat to see players that I like today, those cards. Here's one of my few numbered cards. I kind of liked it. Not super low numbered, this is out of 250. And now some more recent cards. I believe this one is a refractor. Yeah, this is a refractor. You can see that in the upper right hand corner. Just a more recent card, but kind of cool glitter to it. Sort of a neat one. Cornerstones has sort of a neat design to it. That's Topps Finest. I'm a fan of Topps Finest. The last two, I tried to buy some of these pink refractors. Basically, I was considering buying some pink refractor rookies of, you know, the players I like, Yordan Alvarez or Soto. And before I did that, I just wanted to see how that card looked like, if I actually liked the design, so it was less expensive to buy, you know, non-rookie cards. So that's it for the raw cards. Now we're going to go to some slabs. I mentioned this before. I'm kind of slab agnostic, referred to it as. So slabs from virtually every company. CSG are the main ones, CSG, PSA, and SGC, and have some Beckett stuff also. Actually, I have quite a few Beckett slabs for him. So here's the leg up rookie. Like CSG, especially the newer slabs, are pretty nice. Not super expensive. There's a screaming variation. Seems to be pretty excited, thus he is screaming. Bowman Chrome, I like this. CSG is pretty tough on Chrome, so 7.5. Not a great grade, but they're pretty tough on surfaces and stuff. And the same thing, you can see these were 7s. So here's a regular Bowman Chrome Futures. 7's obviously not a great grade, but these were super inexpensive. This one is actually a refractor. So these were actually less than buying the base raw. Some kind of nice little cards. Look at some Beckett slabs now. There's another Bowman Chrome. I quite like this card, so I have a few versions of this. 9 for that one. The 2012 Bowman Draft. The Allen and Ginter. And this is probably one of the more, not super valuable, but this is the 5-star numbered out of 50. It's tough to get a good grade on this. It's kind of interesting design. Not very common card, so a little more costly. Again, a little bit lower grade, but I'm okay with that. Mainly I want the card, not the slab. I mean, generally I don't want 5s and 6s, but to be honest, I generally can't even tell the difference between 9 and a 10 or 8.5 and a 10 half the time. So okay, either way. So here's a couple of slabs, SGCs. Here's the 2012 Topps Chrome Rookie. Another one of those. This next card is actually my favorite card probably of him. It's the Bowman Sterling. I'm a big fan of Bowman Sterling. I think that's just a really nice looking card. It's only a 9, but I just think that's a really cool looking card, especially in the SGC slab. It's kind of dark and ominous looking. Here's a Platinum Rookie and a 9. As you can see, I probably don't have too many 10s. I think I have a couple of minor league PSA 10s coming up, but again, it's a fraction of the cost, especially if you know the PSA 10 versus an SGC or especially a CSG slab. It's way less to begin with of an equivalent grade, and you get like one grade less. You get a 9, and it's looks about the same. The card looks the same, and it's probably like 20% of the price. Like this card, as I mentioned, it's in the first Bowman Chrome. It's in the USA uniform. I think it's pretty neat looking. 8.5. A couple of older Prism rookies. Prism doesn't have the Major League Baseball Players Association. I really have a contract with them, so they don't. That's why they don't have the emblem on there. There's another one of those. And then here's one of my few numbered cards of him. This was kind of almost comical looking. Sometimes the prisms are so overboard. They're kind of funny. It's one of the few 10s. This is 5 out of 5. It's got a kind of an interesting beard. Doesn't even really look like him there. And finally, some PSA cards. There's the update. His real flagship rookie is super expensive. It's a super short print. It's probably over $1,000. So I've ever seen him have a couple of these. Bowman Chrome, 2010. He's still in his USA uniform. Sort of a pre-rookie, I guess, in a sense, because he was a kid back then. This one's really poorly graded. I got a 6 on this one. I just bought that one. I might even crack it and keep it as raw. I'm not sure why it's so low, but that's a 2011 Pro debut. Diamond Kings. It's a 9. That was a throw-in from another order I got. It was free. These last 4 are my 4 PSA 10s. Minor league cards. Funny, when I was a kid, and there's actually 4 different versions of his minor league 2011, what's it called? The Hagerstown Suns cards. There's one of them. There's 4 different pictures of it. There's 2 smiling. The last one was fielding. We got a batting one. And we got hand on the chest one. Growing up, grew up in New England, so we were near the Boston Red Sox minor league team, the Pawtucket Red Sox, and it was actually more exciting sometimes to get the minor league cards. It seems like now minor league cards are nowhere close to as valuable as the real, quote unquote, real rookies. But I kind of like them. So put a couple of these out there. Let's see, why do I like Bryce Harper? Why do I collect him? I know a lot of people talk about, oh, he's undervalued. I think he is, relatively speaking, but it's always risky to say something's undervalued. If you go back, you'll see there's plenty of players, go back to even like Frank Robinson, Yogi Berra, Robin Yount, lots of players that really never become fairly valued, relatively speaking. So he's always going to land up probably being worth a fraction of the value of a Mike Trout or someone like that. But he's still kind of a fun player to collect. You know, cons against him, he does have quite a few rookies. Relatively speaking, he has quite a few previous, you know, kind of like pre-major league rookie cards. But they seem to be, you know, a lot of people always talk about him and Machado, who I'm going to be creating a video of soon. I like both of them. They're good players, and it seems like the cards are relatively inexpensive compared to, if you look at like a Trout or even a Mookie Betts. They're kind of on somewhat similar trajectories. At least those two, you know, it's close, maybe closer to Betts. Trout, he has kind of blown everyone out, but it always seems strange that Trout's worth, you know, it's not like he's worth 30% more. He's worth like 800% more. I think of it as housing. Like, you wouldn't have a house on one street that's like 400,000, and the house next door, it's like better. You know, certainly not debating that it's going to be Trout is better than Harper, but he's not like, again, for a house, you wouldn't have one house 400,000, the one next to it's a bit better, and it's like 17 million. Like the ratio doesn't really make any sense. Another reason I like Bryce Harper is kind of three quick stories. One, I was looking online before I started buying some of his cards, and it's during the pandemic. Saw him doing like front squats, so I thought that was pretty cool. See a guy front squatting. He wasn't doing that much. I was almost nervous if he's front squatting too much, then maybe he's on some type of PED, but he wasn't. Second thing I like about him, it's not good that this happened, but he got hit in the face with the ball that a lot of people saw. Came back and won an MVP. That's some mental toughness there, right? You take a ball coming at you over 90 miles per hour in the face, you run off to first base, and later that, you know, he was certainly out for a bit. Came back, you know, was off for a few games, but then kind of just started hitting again and ended up winning the MVP. This year, again, it's 2022. He broke his finger midway through the season. That's brutal, right? Had to have I believe he had a pin in it. He was out for months. He also injured his elbow, which is why he's a DH. Couldn't for the first part of the season, was difficult to throw, and still he's been raking in the playoffs. So he's a pretty tough guy. You know, he's been playing since he's been kind of a superstar and promoted a lot since he was a kid. But you know, he's got a lot of amazing natural talent, and he seems to absolutely love the game. I'd say that's kind of the third reason I really like him. He has that desire. Remind me when I was a kid and would play baseball, I hit a lot of doubles. I'd always hit the fence. I was called in, you know, get a double. Hitting a home run, I remember, you know, a couple of times hitting a home run and just sprinting around the bases. You're so excited. You have so much adrenaline. You're a little kid. You hit a home run. And I remember almost at that moment thinking, like, how do pros hit home runs and just jog around the bases? And I've seen times when Bryce Harper doesn't. He still has that kind of like youthful exuberance and enthusiasm. Like there's a cool video online if you watch him. He's hitting off a walk-off home run. I think maybe not walk-off grand slam. And he's just charging around the bases. He's so psyched. And that's as like a 28-year-old guy that's already hit hundreds of home runs already. So it's kind of neat to have someone with that level of determination and joy of the game, and natural talent, and someone that's been sort of primed and focused on baseball his entire life. So that's it. Hope you enjoy this video. Would appreciate if you did. Give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. Would appreciate that. And that's it. Have a good day.